Well, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Royes, and today I'm going to be your Algebra 2 instructor. We're looking at notes for 2.2c, and if you don't have the notes with you, if you're listening, watching online, these notes, of course, are in the Unit 2 notes, which are online. Now, today we're going to take a look at piecewise functions. And piecewise functions are actually pretty challenging. A lot of people think they understand them, but I just want to give you a heads up that this is a highly detailed lesson, so stay with me. Since functions are something that, there's actually a question on the quiz asking you what is a function, we decided to not include that question. We just wanted to see what you would say, and it is clear that not everyone has memorized the definition of function. I'd like you to write it down word for word up in the margin here, top margin. A function is a rule. A function is a rule. It's not a mountain, it's not an elephant, it's not a country. Someone asks you what a function is? It's a rule. It's a rule that maps every element of the domain to exactly one element of the range. I'm back. So it's a rule that maps each element of the domain to exactly one element of the range. Of the range. So we want to memorize that word for word so that the next time, like for example on the Unit 2 test, when we ask you what is a function, you'll be able to say a function is a rule that maps each element of the domain to exactly one element of the range. Now, one of the early stages of learning this is to be able to just say it. So when I say go, I'd like all of you to say out loud and in unison. A function is a rule that maps each element of the domain to exactly one element of the range. Ready? Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Well, let's go there. Ready? Go. A function
Is a rule that maps each element of the domain to exactly one element of the range.
That's pretty good. I'm proud of you. Thank you. All right, so what's a piecewise function? We have a function. What's a piecewise function? Now, piecewise function is a function that is made up of several rules, more than one rule. Changing the rules midstream from different functions. Different functions is called a piecewise function. Now, a piecewise function may or may not be continuous. In other words, it may have holes or jumps. In the graph. And so we'll be talking about holes and jumps in the graph today. But the main thing I want to point out, and this is so wonderful that Shauna's with us here in class today, because this is like taking a look at what it's like when Shauna is surfing the web while she's supposed to be working, right? You're driving the golf ball cart. You're driving the golf ball cart, and we're going to watch out what it's like for Shauna on the job. Now, what I'd like you to do is be aware that in this first example, this is going to be kind of fun. It's going to be color-coded. If I were you, I would try to maybe have like two colors, maybe like a pen and a pencil, or maybe like, I'm going to be using yellow and purple, but you want to use colors. Oh, and by the way, clear your desk of everything else. There should be nothing on your desk except for these notes. Okay? So, do y'all have two colors? Do you have like a pen and a pencil?
I only have one.
You only have one? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not required that you have two colors, but it'd be nice if you could try to come up with two or more.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's regroup. Ladies and gentlemen, eyes up front. Now, we're gonna have two different colors of rules and two different colors of golf balls. There's gonna be one color, there's gonna be the yellow rule, which is input plus 1. Then we're gonna have the purple rule, which is -3 times the input plus 1. Now, remember what it's like for Shauna when she goes to work. She's got to scoop up all of these golf balls that are laying out, they're strewn across the meadow. Now, some of the golf balls will be yellow, some of the golf balls will be purple. And one of the golf balls is going to be both yellow and purple. It's going to be golf ball 0. Whichever golf ball is listed in both is going to be bichromatic, if you will. Two color. All right, so here we go. Now, golf ball 0 actually is going to go into the purple function. So we're just going to make that purple. Here we go. Golf ball 0 is going to be purple. Make it a little bit bigger. Right there. Now, and the purple golf balls are going to be the golf balls that are greater than or equal to 0. Okay? So, get ready. Purple golf balls will be 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Those are the purple golf balls. The yellow golf balls are going to be the X's that are less than 0. Switching to yellow, we've got -1, -2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, the yellow golf balls are going to be, their height is going to be governed by the yellow rule, and the purple golf balls will go to a height and be suspended in midair, defying gravity, to a height governed by the purple rule. Now, I'm going to draw a yellow circle around this purple golf ball, because golf ball 0 is going to go in as a ghost ball into the yellow rule as a non-ghost purple ball into purple. See how much detail there is? It's like, wow, this is like a lot of stuff I never even thought about. Ghost golf balls. Right here. Ghost of golf ball. It's a tennis ball. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Get ready. This is what's going on in today's lesson. Start with the golf ball that goes into both. Start with golf ball 0. Golf ball 0, see, is 0 greater than or equal to 0? Yeah, it is. So golf ball 0 is actually going to make this one true. Going to go to the purple function. So if the input is 0, and the rule is -3 times the input plus 1, what will the output be? Raise your hand if you're reasonably sure you know. Ella. 1 is correct. So golf ball 0 goes up to 1 and stays there suspended in midair, defying gravity. Now, let's put 0, even though 0 is not one of the numbers that's less than 0, let's just find out where this ghost golf ball, this open circle, this open yellow circle comes out. If the rule is input plus 1, what's the output? If the input is 0, so it stays there. Now, sometimes it'll go up to a different height. It might go up to there. This time, the purple golf ball and the yellow ghost ball are at the same height. Now, I'll be honest with you. When Shauna is driving the golf ball machine from -infinity to +infinity, she's supposed to be keeping her eyes on the road, but she's actually watching the X+1 show. There's an X+1 on her phone. It's on her phone. And so as you know, it says X+1. She sees X+1 on her phone. That kind of ruins it. X+1. and she's binge watching the X+1 show. Just can't
That's
take,
pretty irresponsible, Mr. Rose.
talk to Shauna. All right, so, but here's, she has her eyes fixed on this rule that says input +1. So like, for example, when she gets to golf ball -8, if the input is -8 and the rule is input +1, what's the output?
One.
-1.
The input is -8, the rule is input +1, -7. So when Shauna's golf ball machine picks up golf ball -8, it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1 unit off the grid. Now, when the golf ball machine picks up golf ball -7, where does it end up? -6 is correct. It goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shauna, would you be willing to come to the board and place golf ball -5? Where does golf ball -5 end up? This is Shauna. So the machine picks up golf ball -5 and it goes to -5 + 1, which is -4. Way to go! Let's give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Shauna, that's what she's doing. Every golf ball is an input, and a function maps each input to exactly one output. So each golf ball is either yellow or purple, and it goes to only one height. And just get -5 + 1 is -4 + 1, and all these golf balls are getting placed. It just forms a line. But then, once Shauna gets to golf ball 0, she's saying, I'm sick of binge watching the X+1 show. I'm gonna take out my remote and I'm gonna change the channel, which really means changing the rule that is used to govern golf ball heights. So she takes out the remote, switches off the yellow channel, and starts watching the purple channel. So now in the purple channel, golf ball heights are governed by a different rule. Now it's -3 times the input +1, starting with input 0, which we've already decided is 1. Is there a volunteer to be willing to come and place purple golf ball number 1 at a height, move it either up or down to a height or depth that corresponds to the output of the purple function when the input is 1. Is there a volunteer? Bo!
Yes.
Has volunteered. Come on up.
I'm spitballing here, Mr. Royce.
Here we go. 1 goes in.
I think like this, maybe?
So, well, let's find out. Let's find out what the rule is. The rule is to do what to the input? If x is the input, then the rule is what?
To divide, to multiply by -3 and add.
Yeah, so take 1, multiply it by -3,
So it'd be -3.
and then add 1.
So it'd be -2.
That's right.
So it's like that.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, hello.
Now hand the stylus to a young lady in a different row. Actually, oh, you know, these symbols here, go and tap the board with the stylus. That should go away, yeah. So now, the next person who comes up, the person to whom you hand this, the young lady, all she'll have to do is touch and move golf ball number 2, okay? So, just pick someone, don't ask their permission, just hand the stylus to a young lady in a different group. She's gonna come up, take the input of 2, she's gonna follow the purple rule, which is -3 times the input +1. So, Haley, come on up. If the input is 2, and the rule is -3 times the input +1, what will the output be? She's placing golf ball 2 at -5. Thank you, Haley, that's actually correct. Now, what you're doing on your paper in terms of the notes, this is actually,
Oh my goodness.
this is a line, goes to all these points. This is a line, happens to have a slope of 1, has a y-intercept of 1. The purple line is gonna look like this. So then all these golf balls are gonna be off the grid because they're gonna go down so low. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm just gonna delete those. Please don't be alarmed that I'm deleting so many golf balls at once. Lock that on. Hello, goodbye. Okay, so this function, this piecewise function has two pieces. It has a yellow piece, which is a graph of x plus 1. But then it looks like Shauna stopped paying attention to the x plus 1 rule. She stopped binge watching the x plus 1 show, if you will. And she switched over to the purple show, which is a metaphor. You know, binge watching the purple show is a metaphor for allowing a new rule to govern the heights of the golf balls starting at 0 and going to the right. Now, if you do, and yeah, I've noticed it's usually about 40% of students do not do this correctly. Here's a mistake that students do. They come up with a graph that fails a vertical line test. Here's a red vertical line. Oh, it's orange. We can make that red. I think we can do this. And your final answer had better pass the vertical line test. As you, in your imagination, scan from left to right with the vertical line, that vertical line had better not ever cut through two golf balls at the same time. So let's just be honest. I want to be honest with you. Usually, about 40% of students think that this is the answer. They think they do the whole yellow line, they do the whole purple line, and they actually put their name on it, and then they turn it in, and they say, "Here, Mr. Royce, grade my paper." And so when I look at it, I'm doing this in my imagination. Like, what? 2? 2 is an input that has not exactly one output. Golf ball 2. I mean, how would you feel if you were golf ball 2 and you were told to go to -5 and to +3 at the same time? You gotta be in 2 places at the same time. Are you kidding me right now? That's not possible to be in 2 places at once. Your answer for all of the homework due tomorrow had better pass the vertical line test. This purple and yellow monstrosity fails the vertical line test. So make sure that your answer passes the vertical line test. Do you have any questions on example 1? And now we're on page 2. Page 2, example 2. Here we go. Now, once again, we're going to have the yellow show. Now, since so many people mess this up, let's just take some time, just take a deep breath, and let's do nothing on this problem except for finding out which golf balls are yellow and which golf balls are purple. Okay? I concluded. It happened again. What have I done? Oh, no, it's fixed. Would you please use one color, and your golf balls don't have to be really super, they can be small, they can be like, you know, I'll tell you right now that -8 is in the less than or equal to -1 category, so you can make them just like that. You don't have to make them huge. Okay? Go through, mark the golf balls that are less than or equal to -1 in one color, and the golf balls that are greater than -1 in another color, but one of these will be a ghost golf ball. It'll be, yeah, I don't know if you're following my ghost metaphor, but if you are following it, then you'll know that, first of all, which golf ball is the ghost golf ball? Does everyone know which golf ball will have like an open circle? It'll be like,
-1.
yeah, -1, yeah. And will the ghost be colored purple or yellow? It'll be whichever one doesn't have the bar. Yeah, purple. It's gonna be purple. The ghost will be purple. And then there'll be a solid -1 here. So let's just take care of that first. That's potentially the most confusing. Golf ball -1 is gonna be yellow, because -1 is less than or equal to -1. So all of these are gonna be yellow. They're all one color. Now, the ghost golf ball, that's just a metaphor, it's not an official mathematical term. It's gonna be golf ball -1, it's gonna be purple. So it's like, Yeah, we're gonna put a -1 into the purple function, but it's gonna be an open circle because really, in the purple function, the domain is not supposed to include -1. It's only numbers greater than -1. Anyway, all the rest of the golf balls that are greater than -1 will be purple golf balls. So, any questions on how to figure out which golf balls are yellow, basically in the domain? Which golf balls are in the domain of the yellow rule? And which golf balls are in the domain of the purple rule? In fact, out of curiosity, raise your hand if you understand how to decide which golf balls are yellow, which ones are purple. Okay, I see it now, yeah. Okay, now let the golf ball machine roll. And start placing all the golf balls either in the air or below ground or on the ground. So every golf ball has to be suspended in midair or driven down beneath the ground. So go ahead and try it. Place the golf balls in the air. Just gonna pause the camera for a second while I tour the room. All right. So here we go. Golf ball -1. Now to place golf ball -1, are we gonna use the yellow rule or the purple rule? Yeah, the yellow rule. Can you tell me what the rule is for turning inputs into outputs? Just read this to me, but every time you see an X, say input.
-3 input plus 1.
Yeah, so what I want you to do is I want you to take the input of -1, take -3 times that input to get what? Wait, what's -3 times -1?
3.
And then when you add 1 to that?
4.
You get 4. So take golf ball -1, the yellow one, and raise it up to a height of 4. And there it is. Weirdly, that's just the center of it. Take the rest of the golf ball. Somehow got separated into 2 pieces. That's pretty good. No, hold on. You get to take this stylus. We're going to group that together. Yeah, class. Golf ball -1. -3 times -1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. It's suspended in midair, defying gravity. There it is. Just hovering. Humming as a. Oh, that's pretty intense. It's the hum of defiance. It's defying the law of gravity.
Can I sit down?
Now, class, raise your hand if you also placed yellow golf ball -1 at a height of 4. You just put it right there at 4, suspended in midair. Pretty good, that's awesome. Hand the stylus to a young lady in a different row. Do it quickly though, because, you know, we're on camera right now. Right, so, now, I'd like you to take the next input, golf ball -2, and let the yellow rule govern its height.
I don't know if this is right, but I'm just put it there.
All right, so let's find out. You took -2, you multiplied it by -3, you get 6, you added 1, yep, it's off the grid, it's up at 7. You know what, yeah, just put it a little bit higher. And class, you only need 2 yellow golf balls. Izzy, thank you. I'm gonna give this back to you in a second so you can hand this on to a young man in a different group. But since all these other golf balls are gonna go off the grid, I'm just gonna delete them for now. And so now, the next person who comes to the board is gonna place the purple ghost ball. It's a ball, it's an open circle. So we're using ghost as a metaphor for what we call in mathematics an open circle. You see, it's gonna go into the purple function. And I can't really say we're putting -1 for x in the purple function because -1 is not in the purple domain. But we can put it in anywhere because it is an open circle. So Izzy, would you please take the stylus, hand that to a young man who's sitting in a different row. Peter, come on up. Tell me, where does the purple ghost ball go?
The purple ghost ball?
Yeah. See if you can first of all grab a hold of it. Because it's, that's pretty good. Then this is, that will actually move it.
Oh, I have to press this.
But, so that we can, here, so I'll show you something. Yeah, see, that's tough to get. If you are willing to actually give me this, I know that once you get the stylus, it's hard to let go, but,
I know.
I'm I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger so it's a little bit easier to, there we go. Now you can grab it, move it around like that. Okay. So when the input's -1, according to the purple rule, what's the output? Well, let's see. The rule is take the opposite of the input and then add 3. To take the opposite of a number, you multiply it by -1. So if the input is -1, and the rule is take -1 times the input plus 3, what will the output be?
Class.
No, this is for you. This is for you. Let's do it. It's a two-step problem. What's -1 times the input?
1,
Add 3?
4.
So it should go up to an altitude of 4. Take the ghost golf ball and bring it up to an altitude of 4. Way to go. I'm gonna have you do one more. Go ahead and tap the board so that this stuff goes away. Take golf ball 0. Does 0 go into the yellow rule or the purple rule?
Purple.
Yeah, because it's greater than -1.
Yeah.
So, to what altitude does the purple golf ball 0 go?
Can I consult my note sheet?
No, I want you to think on your feet.
Okay.
Take the opposite of the x, opposite of the number on the golf ball.
But it's 0, so just do 0.
Add 3. So now move it. No, well, you know what? Instead of here, just want to show you something. Instead of doing that, just move it. Okay? Nothing fancy. Just touch and move. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
I want your fancy one.
No, we want no non-fancy. That's it. Peter, let's give him a hand. Let's give. Very good. So, to finish this problem, what you do is you say we got 2 pieces. There's the piece that has a slope of -3, and there's a purple piece that has a slope of -1. You see, take the opposite of 1 and add 3, you get 2. Take the opposite of 2 and add 3, you get 1. Opposite of 3 and add 3, you get 0. So these golf balls are all on the grid, and the golf ball machine places them down like that. So it should be purple. I know you're wondering why is it blue. So there's no jump. This is what the graph looks like. By the way, does my yellow and purple graph pass the vertical line test?
Oh, yes.
It does. Question, both.
I'm sorry, can you please go to the restroom?
And now let's go to number 3. On problem 3, this one's a little more complicated because of the fractions. So we're gonna have 2 channels again. We've got the yellow channel. The domain of a channel is just a function. So the yellow rule takes all of the golf balls that are less than 3. So go ahead and think of all of these inputs as being yellow. They're in the domain of the yellow function. And then the purple rule has a domain of greater than or equal to 3. So any x value that's greater than or equal to 3 will be colored purple, and its height will be governed by the purple rule. Now, since we're dividing yellows by 3, we only want to take numbers that are easily divisible by 3. Like, for example, 3 is divisible by 3. If the input is 3, and the rule says, take your input, divide it by 3, multiply it by -2, and add 2, your thinking would go like this. 3 cancels with 3, so it's just -2 plus 2 is 0. It stays right there. What would be the next yellow golf ball that would be easy to deal with in terms of these fractions? Like, don't want to put 2 in because 2 doesn't cancel with 3. What golf ball should I put in next so that the fractions will be manageable? Which yellow golf ball should I use? 0 would be a great one because 0 times anything is 0. So to what altitude will golf ball 0 ascend? Class? 2, so it goes up to 2. That's really all you need. You only need 2 golf balls because 2 points determines the line. Once you've got your 2, once it goes to golf ball, the other's not. It's going left 3 up 2, left 3 up 2, left 3 up 2, so we should be good there. So I did the purple piece. Notice how, or I did the yellow piece. I want you to try the purple piece. But notice that 3 does not actually stay here inside of the yellow ghost. Because 3 times -2 is -6. Where does purple golf ball 3 end up? Which is a fancy way of asking what is the output of the purple function when the input is 3? Who can tell me that one? Haley, do you have that one? It would, because look, 3 times -2 is -6, plus 4 is -2. So go ahead and place at least one other purple golf ball, so you can figure out what's going on. Is there a volunteer who's ready, or who's willing to tell me, according to the purple rule, what will the output of the purple function be when the input is 4? I'll take a volunteer on that one. Kelsey? -4 is correct. So what we have, 2 points determines a line, so we're done. So your final answer is going to have a purple piece and a yellow piece. I'm going to delete all the golf balls that we ended up not using. I'm going to lock that in. So we ended up, piecewise function, you only have to do 2 golf balls per rule. Golf balls 3 and 0 were inputs to the yellow rule. Golf balls 3 and 4 were the only inputs on the purple rule. Now, how many of you have seen piecewise functions in the past and found them somewhat confusing? It's like, oh, I've seen these before. These are confusing. Is anyone willing to admit that? A few of you, thank you. Now, can you give me some honest feedback here? Does imagining the movement of golf balls bring clarity, or does it make it even more confusing? I'm hoping that the golf ball machine metaphor will help you visualize movement in the mathematics so that you feel like you're doing something that's not just like following a bunch of rules in order to get a math problem right, but you're actually visualizing a process which can actually be applied to the real world. Okay, so that completes the lesson. We're going to practice a little bit of the homework now.